I'm recording this when the game's still going on, but I don't need to wait. I've seen enough. Frauds. You're absolute fucking frauds. Congrats to the 49ers last week, and congrats to the Cowboys this week. You exposed these sacks of shit for what they truly are. Fraudulent fucking losers. 2022 Vikings, 2020 Steelers, 2023 Eagles. One of these things is not like the other. Can you guess which one? None of them. They're all the fucking same. There's your answer. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, we can still win the division. We have the Giants and the Cardinals to close the season, and the Cowboys have a really tough schedule to close their season. We can win out. We can win out. We can win out. Shut the fuck up. So what? Are we going to beat the Giants by only 4 points? Are we going to win 24-20 while Tommy DeVito throws for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns? This team has no fucking balls. They have no fucking heart. And right now, they don't have any fucking dignity. And I got a lot of people I want to name right now. I have an axe to grind right now. So let me get it out. Let me start chopping wood right now with this axe. Nick Sirianni. That over-emotional sideline shtick, it only works if you're winning. When it's not, you look like a fucking fool. A fucking buffoon. I still can't believe that last week, down only 2 scores in that San Francisco game, you chose to punt. And you want to correct that this game? Oh, I'm gonna throw a fake punt. I'm gonna get a 4th down conversion on a fake punt. Yeah, a little bit too late. A little too little too late, Nick. Yeah, great job. That was a really weak fucking move, and you showed your true colors last week. Great hires you had, by the way. Absolute great hires. You know what? Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon, they weren't perfect. I particularly didn't like how Jonathan Gannon closed this season with how he handled that Super Bowl bullshit. But you know what? They really covered for your sorry, overrated ass much more than I thought, Nick. Sean Desai. What else can I say? Your fucking defense allowed points on 10 straight possessions. 10 consecutive drives against your defense. The opposing offense scored points. That's all I gotta say. You can't find ways to generate pressure. I saw Brandon Graham in there as a defensive tackle once because you're that fucking desperate. This entire season defensively has just been last year's Super Bowl. Only difference is Jonathan Gannon actually had good games that season. Get the fuck out of my face. Brian Johnson. I think you have some potential, but you are not ready for prime time. This over-reliance on all these screen passes and these QB draws, it's predictable, it's not working. You gotta dial something else up. It's mind-blowing with how much talent this offense has consistently fallen below their potential. It sucked for the most part this year, and a lot of that rests on your shoulders. Jalen Hurts, I like you, but God have you regressed this year. Not as accurate with the passes. You've been a turnover machine. How many interceptions and fumbles have you had already? Seems like you've already had double the amount of fumbles and interceptions this year that you had last year. Why are you throwing a 1-yard pass on a 4th and 8? And I don't care if you had pressure on you in that situation. Dak had pressure all game, and we were dialing up blitzes against him. He found the open man like 10 yards downfield. What's your fucking excuse, Jalen? A.J. Brown, dude. Oh, A.J. Brown. Dude, you have no fucking right to bitch about Jalen Hurts ever again. Once again, that kind of diva shit is passable when the team is winning. But when we're losing, you look like a fucking tumor on the same level as T.O. or A.B. Clean your shit up and grow the fuck up. Stephon Gilmore gave you a wedgie the entire game, bud. Fix your shit. Devontae Smith, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? That was your worst game that you've ever played as an Eagle, from my memory. You drop all these passes. Catch the ball, dude. This has never been an issue for you in the past. And now all of a sudden, in a December game against the Cowboys with meaningful playoff implications on the line, you just decide to have the worst game of your career? Are you afraid of the moment? Why can't we tackle anyone? Why is Anthony Morrow our starting linebacker? Are you serious? That is what a Super Bowl contending team starts? That's what a team that has Super Bowl aspirations willfully starts at this point in the season. When Reed Blankenship Reed fucking Forrest Gump, Greenbow, Alabama. Blankenship is your best tackler. You have a serious problem. A safety being your best tackler and having the most tackles on the team shows that your linebackers aren't getting it done, so the safety has to come in and clean the shit up for them. Darius Slay. Yes, I said Darius Slay. Darius, you're washed. You're washed. We should have not brought you back this year. James Bradbury clearly hasn't recovered from that Super Bowl call. He hasn't. He's not the same player. He's probably the most penalized player in the league. He's good for like 3 penalties every single game. Oh, that was bullshit calls. He has a reputation now. He has the reputation of a guy who gives up stupid penalties. I'm not going to fault the officials for calling it what it is. The only players I'm fully satisfied with right now on this team are Jalen Carter, DeAndre Swift, and the offensive line. And the offensive line, they've been getting eaten up. Lane Johnson is not It's not their fault that Jalen Hurts holds the ball for 7 seconds sometimes and he takes terrible sacks. That drive in the first quarter against the 49ers, when he held the ball for a good 8 or 9 seconds and then tripped and fell over himself, is that somehow the offensive line's fault? Are you going to tell me with a straight face that was the offensive line's fault? Because I'll laugh in it if you tell me that to my face. Dallas and San Francisco have firmly established themselves as the class of the NFC. And kudos to them. They've earned it. They showed up when it mattered. The Eagles have been left in the dust. And no games against the sorry-ass Giants and Jonathan Gannon's Arizona Cardinals are going to change my mind about that. They're going to win those games by 40 points. They're not going to because the Eagles don't blow out bad teams. They squeak by the skin of their teeth against everyone. The biggest margin of victory that they've had this year was only 14 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They didn't blow out the Patriots. They barely beat the Patriots. The more I think about this, the more I'm thinking that, man, we missed a really big opportunity to win the Super Bowl last year because this team isn't as good. Granted, they're not the worst team in the league. They're not even a bad team. They're a good team, actually. They're not as good as the best teams in the NFL. The last 2 weeks clearly prove that. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be a really interesting rest of the season. Go Flyers. The Flyers are actually living up to expectations. They're surpassing expectations. Imagine saying that the Flyers were outperforming the Eagles 2 months ago. A month ago. 2 weeks ago. Imagine saying that. But it's true. Go Flyers. Go Flyers. Fuck you, Eagles.